Now, the scary part is that she only relied on Facebook Live. At that point in time, Facebook was rich lah. So she only did Facebook Live. And Facebook Live is not recorded, right? It is live. You have to do it, then it actually runs. So the amount of effort that is needed is very, very high. So ends up it is difficult for her to make enough sales. When she wasn't well, she had to be hospitalized for like 2 weeks or so. I think wasn't so serious, but she was away lah for 2 weeks lah. Can you do live in the hospital?
No.
Cannot, right?
Yeah.
Building an SME is never smooth. Growth is hard, challenges are constant, and bad advice can set you back. Hi, my name is Khadijah from Accounting Superhero. As a management support executive in this company, my role is to assist the company's management and directors in the stewardship of this company. Every week, I book a one-to-one mentoring with my boss, Mr. Faz, so that I can perform better in my role. Join me as I go through a range of topics relevant with SME business owners like yourself who are keen to grow your business and ascend to the next level. Before I start, I just want to share that whatever is being shared here is based on real advice and experience from a professional chartered accountant for more than 20 years of industry experience. Mr. Faz is a no bullshit kind of person. Are you ready? Let's go!
Hi, Mr. Faz.
Hi, Khadijah, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Alhamdulillah. How about you?
Okay, good, fantastic.
Okay, good to hear that. So basically, we are back on another interesting topic for the Business WhatsApp episode, which is do I really need a website or is social media enough? So many SMEs today, right, their business entirely depending on social media such as Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook, and also TikTok. Many SMEs run their business through social media, right? For example, Instagram, Facebook, and also TikTok. Orders also came in via WhatsApp, and then for a while it feels good enough. So, but sooner or later, someone will say, is social media enough, or like, do I really need a website for my business? Yeah. So today, let's answer this honestly. Is social media enough, or do I really need a website? From your experience, when is social media enough for a business, and when does it start becoming a risk?
Okay, so a bit of a disclaimer first. I can't really respond to this from purely a marketing angle lah. I'm not a marketing person, kan? But I can try to answer it from an accountant point of view, from a business owner point of view, based on what we've done, based on what our clients have done as well, and based on the numbers that we've seen lah, in terms of how much they spent and how much they actually get in terms of revenue growth lah, perhaps. Okay, so that's my disclaimer. Okay, all right. So first and foremost, let's look at what social media is. I would say there's some very good points about social media lah. The good things are basically it's very, very low barrier to entry. Anyone can straight away open an account. Accounts are usually free. Setup is usually fast. Within a few minutes, you're done. You're ready. There's potential for virality as well. Virality means what? What means you get one video done or one posting done, which either you look for the attention, or you see the right things in that sense. It catches people's eyeballs or their ears or their hearts. You can get a lot of people to actually view that video lah. So you get very well known, get very viral, very, very fast. So the potential is there, right? On top of that, there is a possibility of direct interaction. Meaning on social media, you are supposed to be there manning your accounts lah, kan patutnya. So since you're there, you can actually chat with your leads, people who actually respond to your posts, who say something about it. You can be there to actually really interact lah, which is a good thing. This is good, especially for those who are running businesses with very strong personal brands. Okay, so their name is important, their face is important. So some sort of like influencers, thought leaders, and also businesses like F&B. Why I say F&B is because F&B is special. F&B involves emotions which are linked to food. Okay, so by showing the right food item being consumed, either someone drinking it or eating it, having a really wonderful meal, it can incite people to want to try it out as well. So it's actually very good lah to actually do it via social media. At the same time, social media also has some limitations as well lah. So things like your audience, it's not yours. So it's actually it's your limitation is the platform that you're using. So if say you say the wrong things, or you openly support maybe a certain unpopular cause or something, right? Your account can be suspended suddenly, right? And then algorithms can change anytime. So I think previously a lot of people were doing a lot of marketing on Facebook, putting a lot of money on Facebook, but along the way algorithms always change. So then they realize that, hey, I'm putting so much money now, I'm having to double and triple and quadruple my budget, but I'm not getting as much reach. So the kind of reach you're getting might change suddenly lah. So tomorrow it could be something totally different, right? At the same time, social media is there, but it's not somewhere where you will keep your fixed information. Like say you're selling something or you're selling a product or service, then certain info about this product or service won't be stored on social media. It's usually when people ask you, then you have to reply and give them information. So it's not available for those who want to see it to be able to discover themselves. So that part is a bit lacking lah. And last but not least, I think if at the end of the day someone is actually looking for you, and the only place they can find you or your business is on social media, and you don't have a website, credibility sometimes gets affected lah.
I see.
Yeah. So ultimately, I think website is still important. It may not be the first point of call for people looking for you, but it could be for verification of credibility, or to see whether are you searchable, do you really exist, not so much credibility is like a bit higher lah. So even at basic level, can I really know this person exists or this company exists? At least they'll try to Google you and search you, But if there's no website, some form of trust cannot be developed lah at all. Yeah.
I see, understand. So what does a website give business owners that social media can't, especially for SMEs in Singapore and Malaysia?
Okay, sure. This is a good question. A website, as boring as it may be, as static as it may be, even if it doesn't have like much videos, or it doesn't have bells and whistles, even if it's something very, very basic, first and foremost, it offers professionalism and trust. Because having a website, it signals a permanence. Like, hey, I'm serious about my business. There is a website here, and you can find me here. I'm always here. So permanence is there. Legitimacy is another thing. Means you can prove that you're not a fly-by-night kind of business lah. You operate, this is where you are. Certain countries like Malaysia requires your company name to be stated at the bottom, at the footer at least, with your company number. Okay, a lot of people still do not know this actually, but it is required. So that alone signifies legitimacy as well, and because of that, people can trust. So when you see a website, and especially in Malaysia, you scroll down all the way to the bottom, there is the company name there, company number down there. That's if you want to search them also, you can find them and all that. So you can actually build a lot of trust lah. And I guess maybe like if your customers are B2B customers, other businesses, clients, right, or overseas clients, having this website is very, very important lah.
This podcast has been brought to you by Accounting Superhero, your trusted partner for Zero and SME compliance in Singapore and Malaysia. Switch up to Accounting Superhero today.
Because that trust is very, very important for you to actually be able to get business, right? At the same time, this part about professionalism, usually when you already have a certain URL, your website address, right? Like for example, ours is accountingsuperhero.com. So obviously we can have our own branded email. So like maybe your name at accountingsuperhero.com. So that comes usually with your domain. I think that's also important now. Having a branded email shows that you're already serious and it looks good lah. Yeah. And Another thing I would say, a website actually has another one up is control over the branding of the business. When you look at social media, right, how you want to depict the brand, where you want to put your post, how it appears, it's all standard, right? Your account, my account, whoever's account, same. It all looks the same in that sense. The customization, there is, but limited. Website, you can do whatever you want, right? You want to keep it simple, you want to go all the way to over the top, up to you. And you can tell a lot more things on your website, like testimonials, having, Google reviews embedded, everything can be done. And you can also have, if you're selling products, you can do so very easily over websites, because you can have your e-commerce integration done, so you can connect to another platform. Your items will be shown on there. You can just one click, put into the cart, make payment, done. So things like payment gateways can be set up. So your ability to sell to actually everybody around the world is there, so you can do that. I guess that's a lot better than social media, right? Social media also has geographical boundaries set as well. So if you're on TikTok and you want to buy something from TikTok shop in Malaysia, you must have a Malaysian account and a Malaysian address, and then you can see, then you can buy. Then the moment you go somewhere else, you open up your TikTok shop, suddenly you can see everything in Malaysia, but you can't buy, that kind of stuff So there's geographical boundaries as well. Last but not least, I would say discoverability and SEO to actually help drive people to you. You can get a lot more done via a website. So if people are looking for you, and then they look for they look for you or look for a category that you're in, it's much easier for your business to actually be appearing when you actually have a website. SEO is done, right? This SEO part, right? Of course, people sometimes pay a lot of money to actually get SEO to work for them well. I would say, regardless of whether you're spending money on SEO, even if you just have a website and you have updated your keywords and everything on your websites, at least the searchability of your business is much higher. So I guess it works better Then if you want to boost it by putting some money into SEO and doing marketing there, that's another extra that you can do
This SEO basically helps with visibility
Yep. So someone looking for you or your business, and they know maybe one part of your business name, when they look for you, at least they can find you Yep.
I understand. So in Singapore and Malaysia, right, many SMEs start on social media, and then once their social media grows, and then only then they create a website. So in your opinion, at what stage should SME realistically invest in a website?
Okay, that's a good question again. I would say, realistically speaking, right, when you're starting a business and you're doing over social media, run it as much as you can. Okay, go and make the most amount of money that you can until you realize that you don't have enough hands. Okay, you're getting too tired, right? So what happens next is you need to open up a website to be able to handle orders in a more scalable manner, I would say. So if you're actually selling products right? Why? Because then you can have an integrated system on your website, which you can work with other partners to handle your orders. You don't have to do it all yourself. Imagine if you're a business owner and you're doing it all yourself on social media and you're working from home. Can you imagine the number of boxes that you have to pack at home? Right? It will affect the family, right? So as you grow, you might have to actually change the way you do things So in Singapore, when you want to actually open up a new website for your business, right? This is called digital transformation for your business. You can always look out for grants. There are these things called Enterprise Singapore EDG grants. Okay, these grants will help you to actually get websites ready, which meets your requirements On top of that, if you're running a B2B service business, that means you're a lawyer and an accountant, maybe you're an engineering company and things like that. I would say they rely a lot on a strong website, a credible website, and a good email marketing campaign as well, which goes through their website as part of their marketing process. So a website is definitely important for them. And for those companies in Singapore which are running basically selling products on a high scale, they would probably want to use an e-commerce platform, things like Shopify, WooCommerce, or Wix. This will be the core sales channel. So I would say they should actually consider doing business in this way lah, meaning have a website which is already made simple for them on Shopify. So you say opening a new website, clean, and then having to actually do everything from scratch, use simple available resources like Shopify, WooCommerce, Wix, and then you can sell products faster. Okay, now let's look at Malaysia. So Malaysia, I think a lot of SMEs or micro SMEs, they begin on platforms like Instagram, on Facebook. Then slowly they actually move to Shopify, they move to Easy Store, and they might even customize their own WordPress sites, right? That's fine. I think there's a good process flow lah. Again, for food delivery platforms like Grab and all that, they are preferable for F&B businesses. So, of course, when you're listed on Grab, Foodpanda, all this, the cost of the platform to you is quite high also. So you are expected to pay 28 to 30 something %, right? But most businesses, F&B businesses in Malaysia, they transfer significantly or almost all of these extra costs to the customers lah, which is why when you go to the shop to buy, it's cheaper, but when you buy online, it's more expensive lah. That's the reason why. But in any case, if your volume is high, right, like for example, you run Pizza Hut, for example, or you run Domino's, for example, your volume is already high, then or KFC, for example, then it makes sense for you to also have your own platform. That means your own website ordering as well, because then your costs of running your own platform will be lower than in doing the same on Grab, right? So you need to weigh this out lah. Yeah. Last but not least, I would say in Malaysia, I think the potential to unlock your visibility and searchability online is to have a Google business profile. So at the very least, do this lah. At least do this. You know,
Google business profile has the like ratings and all that.
Yes. So like for me personally, I like to give rating. Yeah, give reviews. So when I go to my dentist, which is somewhere near here, right? So they're called Sunny Dental. So when I go there, I'm happy with their service and all that. I will give them a 5-star, and I will tell them, I will say why. You know, I will take photo with my dentist and I'll post it up on there as well. So if more people do this, right, it helps your business.
Yeah.
So how to get people to do this? Make it part of your process, the customer experience. They have done payment, everything completed, they're happy with everything. Make sure you have something for them to scan your QR code straight to Google Business Profile and leave a review.
And then the reviews, you can just embed that Google reviews to the website lah.
Yes.
So it will become the more credible, I would say.
Yes, definitely. Right, I think that's good, right? For all businesses to do lah.
Yeah, it basically increases the popularity and credibility, I would say. Yeah.
Yep. And it's how to say, if there are say 5 dentists in this area, but when you search for dentists, you find there's 5. Then you see, hey, this fella said something very, very good about this dentist. Maybe it's a bit further away, but because of that review, people will go.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Because the word of mouth is really important, right?
Yeah. And people kind of trust what other person
Other
say.
people say,
on reviews. So if you can actually get more reviews, that'll be great as well. Yeah.
Yeah, because the outsiders do not have like biased opinion, right?
Yes, correct.
So yeah, that's important lah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are back on the horror stories section. So from your experience as an accountant, what's the most expensive mistake that you have seen from relying only on social media? They don't have website, they don't have anything. They just have social media, just TikTok, just WhatsApp. Yeah.
Okay, actually, I may have more than one. So, but these are short stories lah. Okay, so based on some clients' experience lah. Okay, so I remember long ago we had this one mentor in MOTD. One mentee in MOTD. So the way she runs her bakery, she has a bakery. It's a very small bakery, very small outfit. The good thing is she actually rented a space, right? So she has big ovens and all that. She can handle volume. Okay. Now, the scary part is that she only relied on Facebook Live. At that point in time, Facebook was rich lah. So she only did Facebook Live. And she had her own set of rules. I make all the Facebook Live, but I don't want to show my face. Okay, because she also was working somewhere else. Okay, so how to say? Your Facebook Live, first of all, is not engaging, and then the only thing that people have to see is the food that you have down there, and there's nobody eating it lah, right? And Facebook Live is not recorded, right? It is live. You have to do it, then it actually runs. So the amount of effort that is needed is very, very high. So ends up it is difficult for her to make enough sales. So one of the initial things I did with her was to actually have a certain forecast. Every month how much you need to sell, every week how much you need to sell. So it's like cyclical lah. She can't hit her weekly sales. It's very, very tough. And then I told her, okay, look, then if that's the case, go on to Grab. Right, no choice. Because you need to make the sales, right? So when she went to Grab, then there's another set of problems, which is she finds that the extra platform charges of 30+% was really too high for her. Right? So her sales price, the selling price become too sky high. People don't want to buy. So she is already outpriced by competitors. So why would anybody buy your pizza at $50+ when you can get the same pizza, same size, reasonably same taste, reasonably for like $30+, right? So that's another problem lah. So that is the reality of it, right? So if you only rely on social media, and which like how this person did, when she wasn't well, she had to be hospitalized for like 2 weeks or so. I think wasn't so serious, but she was away lah for 2 weeks lah. Can you do live in the hospital?
No.
Cannot, right?
Yeah,
And
it's unethical.
Right.
Yeah.
And somehow you don't want to show your face, and you can't bake your goods. So there's nothing that you can do, right? So can you make a sale?
No.
So that's exactly what happened. So needless to say, after 3-4 months of struggling, they woke up lah. So the company closed, right? So that's a sad reality. Another one I can think of is there is a certain client. They are running education service online. Okay, they're doing it online. So when you do education online, right, your actual students actually is around the world. You can teach anybody anything, right? Doesn't have to be a Singaporean student or a Malaysian student. It can be anybody all around the world. So, but when you only rely on social media to actually do advertising, just now I made a point where, especially foreign buyers, foreign customers, when they look for you online and they don't see a website with your company name, their ability to trust you is much, much lesser lah. So this is the part where you lose out lah. When they look for you, you're not online with a website, but you're only there on social media. Their ability to trust you and your ability to perform is much eroded lah. So they might not take you up. Yeah,
that's correct.
So one of the things I actually mentioned for this client to try to fix is to get a proper website up. Even if it's just informational and simple, it's fine.
If you are a business owner seeking professional guidance from Mr. Faz, feel free to scan the QR code attached below or using the contact details provided in the caption below.
One of the most expensive mistakes from relying on purely social media is whether the SME can create the content themselves or not. Okay, so this is the expensive part. The best is to be able to create content yourself. So either use a phone, just put in a wireless microphone or something, simple stand, create the content. Then it's fine. It's very cheap, very simple. You do it consistently, you will get there, inshallah. Okay. But the problem is when you want to do this, you don't have ideas, or you have ideas but you have an issue with performing to actually go and to get it done. So what happens is then you actually have to hire help. So either you hire in-house, which is expensive, or you hire a service provider, which most of the time they have mismatched expectations, or they're trying to sell you something which you don't want. And then the SME doesn't push to say, hey, look, this is what I want. I'm not looking for what you want to tell me, what this is what I want actually. So because of this mismatch, what happens is you don't get the outcome you want lah. And you pay a lot for it. Then you get very upset. Then you start blaming everybody else lah. So I guess what my advice is for SMEs, if you want to do social media advertising, you want to do social media to boost your business, do it simple. Importantly, do it consistently. Okay, if it's possible, write out the different angles to which you want to share content. Make sure the content is something which can reach the audience,
Like appeal to the audience lah.
Yes.
So the research that make research that people can relate to.
Yes.
So that it will become viral because everyone can relate that topic to.
Yep.
So it will become more, let's say more apa?
Relevant, meaningful.
Yeah, that's the word. More relevant.
So this is the main thing lah. Don't do for the sake of doing, right? Don't do trends. If you're an SME business owner, don't go and do trends lah, if possible, because not all trends actually work for us, right? So we have to be selective, right? And at the end of the day, don't pay for services which you are not clear what you're getting. Okay, this may not be a popular opinion. I'm sorry if my other fellow marketing business owners friends hear this and they're upset. I'm not trying to diss anybody. All I'm saying is educate the business owner, educate the SME business owner, tell them what they should be needing, and the business owner must also know what they want, so that these two can match. Then you'll get better outcome. So don't just do it for the sake of doing it lah.
I see. Wow, that's a lot of horror stories from only relying on social media. Okay, so basically, we have talked about feasibility, credibility, cost, and also long-term growth, like social media versus websites. From an accountant's point of view, why should SME treat a website as a business asset rather than an expense?
Oh, okay. Okay. So an expense, right, is actually for something which you spend on. There's no real long-term benefits lah, in a sense. It's a short-term benefit which you need in order for you to be able to earn some income. So I would say a website is actually a long-term asset.
Long-term investment?
Yes. Okay. But at the same time, it is not just it's a long-term asset, but it's a long-term asset which you need to upkeep along the way. So
always update the
So a living website is better than spending a lot of money, get everything done, and then that's it. Then you forget about it. So that might not be. That's definitely not good lah. And then at the same time, if your website is not updated regularly, right? Even the web crawlers like Google will be able to see that you're not updated. So when people look for you or look for something like you, the search will yield you in a lower rank lah, compared to others, because your website doesn't give valuable information, doesn't give updated information. So it's important for us to invest in a good website, then keep it updated always. So it's a continuous thing lah. Some business owners, they do this yearly. Some even do it like every 3 months, because they want to actually keep it really current, follow trends. Sometimes, I mean, if you do at websites enough, you'll be able to see the kind of what do you call this? The writing style, the use of fonts, the updating of the brand identity, updating of logos, even all these kind of images which are being used, the kind of images, it changes over time. So it's good to be current as well.
We need to keep up to date with the current trends.
Yeah. But of course, don't go overboard lah. But at least keep it up to date maybe once a year, you know. And if you have any blog articles that you can contribute, that will be a good idea as well. Yeah.
I see. So what are your advice to the business owners, to the SME business owners, from an accountant's point of view?
From an accountant's perspective, I would say these are things which I tell my clients. Always start with social media is fine. Okay, start there, but don't stop. Don't stop just at that. This is a storefront lah. It's where people come to get to know you, right? So if your social media is where people getting to know you, it's like a storefront. Your website should be your HQ. It should be somewhere where people really go and find you to see whether you're credible, and to make a honest opinion whether they want to get to know you better or not. So that should be like a HQ lah. Okay. If you plan to raise prices, you know, or sell globally, or to get bigger clients like corporate orders and all that, having a website helps a lot. It adds authority, so people will be able to believe in what you do, trust you and all that lah. At the same time, if you're going to be working with bigger businesses, or you're going to be working with getting maybe loans or getting grants from the government, these partners will always ask for your website. You know, before they can take you seriously, they want to see who you are. You know, at the same time, because I did touch about this ownership of data. Data that you have on social media platforms are not yours. So your website is what is yours actually. So if you have a proper website, you can collect data there. Like whoever comes there, you can actually ask for the email, offer discounts and all that. These customer lists and all that are all yours. So you own it, right? So website is a business asset. It's not an expense. Okay, if it's done right, it will work for you always, 24/7. Even while you sleep, people can still go to your website, can still make a purchase, can still check you out, can still decide to send you an email, right? So because you're credible. So this is my advice actually.
Thank you, Mr. Fas, for your advice. I feel like these informations are really beneficial, not just to me, but to all the SME business owners out there lah. So to summarize, basically social media is powerful, but it's rented space. A website is a digital property lah, an asset and also an investment for your business.
Yep.
Okay, so start with socials and then grow your presence, but build your website when you want control, you need credibility, or you are ready to scale beyond the circle lah. Okay, so yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you so much for your sharing today.
Also.
So I guess we'll see you on the next episode.
Great.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
In the next episode, we uncover another interesting topic. I think I'm overpaying in taxes. What should I do about it? See you on the next episode. Bye.